Welcome back, muscle car enthusiast. Today, we're shifting gears a bit. While American muscle cars dominate the landscape, there's a whole world out there where power, performance, and muscle car culture are thriving. So, if you're ready to think outside the box, let's dive into the best non-American muscle cars that give their American counterparts a run for their money. Japanese muscle car. We all know the iconic Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro, but what about Japan's powerhouse, the Nissan Skyline GTR? Originally introduced in the 1960s, the Skyline GTR truly found its fame in the 90s with the R32 model, affectionately known as the Godzilla of the car world. With a twin turbocharged inline-six engine producing around 280 horsepower, though many believe it was actually more, the R32 dominated the Japanese racing scene and is still revered today. It's a true muscle car with a reputation built on handling, speed, and technology, putting it on par with any American legend. The 1971 Mitsubishi Galant GTO cannot be left out of the conversation. This GTO, which took stylistic inspirations from the Pontiac Firebird and Ford Mustang, went from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 9 seconds. With its 1.6-liter inline-4 engine, it could reach 120 miles per hour and 30 miles per gallon. Additionally, the Galant was meant for racing. It gained success in rallying and became a frequent participant at the Japanese Alpine Rally despite being unable to compete owing to circumstances. Then we have the 1972 Mazda Savanna RX-3 Coupe. In its day, this little rocket was a marvel. The amazing 1-liter 10A Wankel engine that powered the RX-3 produced 110 horsepower and 112 miles per hour. It also had a live rear axle, independent front suspension, and a 4-speed manual transmission. A straightforward, affordable Japanese muscle vehicle that you could race on the weekends is the ultimate result. Australian muscle cars. Now, let's head to Australia, where the Ford Falcon GT stands tall as one of the country's most iconic muscle cars. Developed in the 1960s, the Falcon GT made waves with its large V8 engine options and aggressive styling. But the real magic happens under the hood. By the time the Falcon GT Phase 3 came around in the early 70s, it was equipped with a 5.8-liter V8 engine, giving it 300 horsepower, making it the most powerful production car in Australia at the time. The Falcon GT has remained a symbol of Australian automotive performance, continuing to inspire enthusiasts and collectors. Back in the day, everybody loved Chrysler, and it's important we add the 1972 Chrysler Valiant Charger E49 RT. Some have referred to the E49 as Chrysler Australia's best Charger. The 4.3-liter straight-six engine of the Valiant, sometimes known as the Big Tank, generated 302 horsepower. Due to their intended use on tracks, the E49 road and track versions only had a 9-month production run. The muscle vehicle took 14.4 seconds to complete a quarter-mile race and 6.1 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour. The Charger's exterior included a blacked-out grille, guards with the number 4 displayed in vertical stripes, and headlights that were quartz halogen. Chrysler prepared it for its outstanding results at the Bathurst Enduro, with the right numbers and extensive testing. It was one of the fastest vehicles to compete, although it never really took first place. And who can forget the Holden Monaro from Australia, with roots in the 1960s? The 1968 Holden Monaro GTS 327 is such an amazing muscle car, and this is why. When it was first released, the Holden Monaro GTS was a 2-door coupe with rear-wheel drive. It was the first Holden muscle car with a Chevy 327 V8 and the first Holden vehicle to win at Bathurst. At 4,800 RPM, the 5.4-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine generated 250 horsepower. With so much power, the HK327 required a sturdy transmission, so the manufacturer fitted the vehicle with a limited slip differential and a Saginaw 4-speed manual gearbox. As a result, the 327 was able to reach a peak speed of 200 kilometers per hour and complete the quarter mile in 16.2 seconds. The GTS appearance package, which included offset stripes and interior features like the console-mounted tachometer, was also included with the Monaros. Although the exact number of the Monaro 327s manufactured between 1968 and 1971 is unknown, estimates place the production a little more than 1,200. We also have the 1972 Holden Torana LC GTR XU1. In a similar vein, the second Holden on the list was released as a more affordable and compact performance vehicle that might rival the Falcon GT. Harry Firth, the lead of the Holden team, saw the potential of the first GTR, which was a member of the 6-cylinder Torana lineup, as a racing winner. A version for competition was created, and it was named the XU1. It was equipped with a 3.0-liter 186 engine that generated 160 horsepower. The manufacturer added a rear ducktail spoiler and a front air dam to increase stability and set the vehicle apart from the single carburetor variants. A major upgrade, including an increase in capacity, was done after the defeat at Bathurst. Its 3.3-liter 6-cylinder engine now produced 29 more horsepower. It also had better cabin seats and quicker ratio steering. Racing driver Peter Brock won the Bathurst 500 after defeating Ford's Phase 3 GTO Falcons with these improvements. Production of these cars, which came to be known as the Bathurst Specials, lasted until 1973. An estimated 3,300 were constructed throughout these 3 years, with half of them being LC variants. European muscle cars. Let's not forget Europe, where muscle doesn't just come in the form of rugged, loud V8s. Take the BMW M8, a modern powerhouse with a sleek European twist. This isn't your typical muscle car, but with 617 horsepower, it's got the kind of performance that muscle car lovers appreciate. BMW's M division has been producing performance-driven machines for decades, and the M8 is one of their best examples of combining luxury with raw muscle. It's a high-tech marvel, boasting twin turbocharged V8s that can catapult it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. That's muscle car territory, just with a bit more sophistication. AMGs can be referred to as one of the muscle cars that Germany took very seriously, and the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG W204 is one of them. When the Mercedes-Benz W204 C63 AMG was introduced, it astounded everyone. It was equipped with AMG's first in-house engine, a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8. Later, the engine's output was increased to 480 horsepower from its initial configuration of 450 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. Both the Black Series and the Edition 507 maintained the engine's inherent aspiration while producing power outputs above 500 horsepower. With the ability to spin its rear wheels virtually anywhere, including around curves, the C63 was a true muscle vehicle in every way. In contrast to more potent Mercedes-Benz models that came before it, the C63 AMG had the ability to fully disable traction control and ESP, with the latter only becoming problematic when braking heavily. BMW M3 E92, another German muscle car that most people keep sleeping on. BMW also fitted the M3 with a V8 engine following the popularity of the E39 M5. A 4.0-liter engine with an incredible 8,500 RPM was used this time. Due to the impending E46 M3 CSL V8 never reaching serial production, the E9X M3 was the only M3 generation to get a V8 from the factory. With just a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, the E9X M3's 415 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque were sent to the back wheels. The M3's ability to slide sideways and the noise from the intake and exhaust gave it a hint of muscle, but it was still primarily a sports vehicle. Many people refer to the E9X M3 as the most complete car in the world because of its surprisingly useful features and overall magnificence. The list is not complete without the Opel Omega V8. High-spec versions of the Omega flagship from the late 1990s and early 2000s were suggested by Opel as the Omega V8. It would have been powered by the Chevrolet Corvette's 5.7-liter LS1 V8 and only had the GM 4-speed automatic transmission as an option. The Opel Omega V8 was supposed to enter serial production in the early 2000s, but owing to issues with engine cooling, it was never put into full production. It also took too long to fix the transmission's flex plate, which failed frequently at 155 miles per hour when the throttle was fully engaged. Holden put the same engine in their Monaro, which went into serial production in the meantime. It's unfortunate since an Opel Omega with a V8 engine would have been a fantastic budget German muscle vehicle. So there you have it, folks. While America may have popularized the muscle car, these international machines prove that the world of muscle is much broader than you might think. Whether it's Japan's precision, Australia's raw power, or Europe's refined engineering, there's no shortage of thrilling, non-American muscle cars to get your heart racing. Which international muscle car is your favorite? Drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to keep up with all things muscle. Until next time, keep those engines roaring.